Hey everyone, Thyrophon here. Been a little bit since my last update. I'm sorry it took a little longer. I had a poll up on Patreon just to see if my schedules should change. So, you might not see a video next month, you might. That's very up in the air at the moment. But as it is, today you have an update, and let's see how it goes. Main menu, I made it very bare bones. I actually had this up for a while, but I never connected it correctly. And as an extension to last week's loading problems and saving, well, it just continues, and I'm not too happy about it. But, again, progress has been made, and a lot of progress. Last time, the only thing I was saving that was messing up was the scene that the player was saved in. So if you were in Aho, you saved, it would say, you were in Aho. Try and go to Aho. And that simple command was all that led to the catastrophic error that was last time. This time, it loads you correctly. You can basically do everything like normal. Pick up things, heal Apacies, but that's the issue. It deletes any previously saved Apacies. So yes, Myriad spawns every time that you start up the game, but I had to override that, otherwise you would have no Apacies whatsoever. So it's a temporary workaround, but your position saves, it's just that your Apacies don't. So it's not the best. But I also worked a lot when it comes to planning for the future. I made a handful of different Apacies, and I started making a lot of maps, like I was explaining last time, to make the world seem more interesting. Oh, a very rare encounter. And this is perfect. So, you can capture Apacies now, and I made it so that you can actually name them. So, let's add Bunny to the team. And yes, there's no like enter, you don't press enter. You just run away whenever you're done. New idea. That might have just helped me figure stuff out. Okay, take two. Let's try this again. I started up a new game. I went straight to the wild area. There we go. Much better. So, Perky the Perko Bear. And this is what I was talking about in, say, the 0.3 update or so, where in previous updates, Perky would have been an extra Perkopair word. So it would have been Brave Perkopair the Perkopair, because it had the default species name. Now that you can change the name of the Apacies, this epilogue that I've been calling it will display your Apacies name whenever you go here. I haven't implemented a specific case for Myriad since you spawn with it, but for every other Apacies, it's fine for right now. Nameable Apacies, I've been waiting so long for that, it's just a little bit more personable. And to continue where I left off before, I have new areas in the map. So it is very blocky at the moment. To put it into perspective, so I take graph paper and make it into just some sort of map that roughly works with the Arizona maps that I've been researching for the time. And routes are named after the highway routes around Arizona. Right now we are on Route 86, if I'm not mistaken. Because I did it in such a blocky fashion on graph paper, I translated each square there into a 5x5 grid of tiles. Mostly to give me room to flexibly draw and make tiles for next update, when I'm hopefully doing a big graphical update again. Because I'm getting really tired of some of these tiles, especially because I have so few of them. Though This in particular is because I wanted an easy way to change the graphics next go around. But these harsh edges are only a result of the 5x5 grid, and they will be smoothed out later on in the next update. When I leave Aho, I go to this new area. I am trying to replace those very small, very linear paths with more extensive ones that represent the map more. I will probably have to extend the Aho to Sail map quite a bit due to the large distance between the two cities. But we'll see once we get there. I did change up the all mechanic for moves to have a 50% chance to hit each individual ally instead of guaranteed chance to hit one, I believe was the previous. Real quick, I did do a lot of bug changes as well. The most obvious of which is you can see the epilogue now. They aren't, the Apacies that are displayed no longer hide behind the changing type squares that are supposed to be a backdrop for the pictures themselves. Lastly, I started work on the shadow circles that is a better representation of combat for Apacies and Pokemon games in general. Instead of just walking and encountering an encounter, little black spheres spawn randomly throughout the map and should see you within some sort of distance that is marked by pre-established variables inside of each creature, but they'll chase you down with a specific speed, also predetermined by what creature that random circle is. So you have a rough idea of what is chasing you, but you're not quite sure what it is. Like I said before, there's been a number of things that have come up, but I'm still trying to work on the game itself. I'm also trying to do the advertising and find out a good schedule for YouTube and such. I'm struggling, especially on that end. When it comes to this project, I'm still wholeheartedly in it. And for next update, there are a few things that I want to get done. Train locations in the towns. First, I have to redesign the towns themselves to accommodate basically train stations, even if they will be really small because of Aho and Sail. I want a good fast travel way in between the towns if your trainer can fork over the cash or take some sort of sacrifice. For now, it might be free just because. I can probably spread out some trainers too, build up a cash system, and you'll have to defeat trainers in order to fast travel. Might do that. I'm thinking about adding in randomly spawned items to Apacies. I don't know if I should edit a % chance that one Apacies would get an item as opposed to another. I'm also thinking of a very, very small mechanic that is part of a bigger change about completely removing the universal moves, but then every time you use an every other turn, daily, or scene, and a free space is made in your moves list, having struggle take up that space. An option at the end of the day for sure, but not to overburden the user with a lot of different menus. I do want a title, font, and logo. I'll probably be working on that like I've been working on the website in the background. Variants on the combat background. I am getting a little bored of the simple sunset. A good number of variants would be very nice. And especially if I change it out for trainer battles versus wild battles, I think it could bring I think it'd be a good return on investment. I'm gonna be working on the shadows of each Apacies that may come to some and not to others by next update. But I'm also thinking about shiny variants and how I'm gonna do that, because it is really cool when you find that rare Pokemon that's a different color that's unique to all the rest. How am I gonna do that though? Should I make just one variant and approximately the same percentage as Pokemon? Maybe twice as hard in 4 different types. I might feel a little bit better. I hardly ever see shiny Pokemon. And that's what I have planned for next update. I'm not gonna say next month because I'm still unsure about how that'll go. I know that the weekend of the 19th of October, I need to have an update. That is me working a year on this game, and I'm hoping to have something special just to commemorate a year. So working on it for about a month and a half, that might be the best choice. So thank you very much for watching. I still like how this is coming along, be it slowly. I don't have all the time in the world to work on what really is my baby. Check out some of the other videos. Thank you. Have a good night.